In the 1990s, when cassette players, chain letters, and big hair are still popular, baby Annabelle is born. At the hospital, two careless nurses take care of the newborns. They laugh, drink, and treat the babies like toys. While putting them back in their cribs, they mix some of them up by mistake. 25 years later, Annabelle von Schlocht lives a fancy life. After a long night out with her wealthy friends, she wakes up late. She sees her mother's face covered in blood and screams. But her mother, Trixie, calmly says it's from her new beauty treatment, a vampire facelift. Annabelle worries and brings up the last time a treatment went wrong. Trixie brushes it off, saying it's nothing. Annabelle tells her that it's okay to be imperfect and that real people can still be happy without chasing perfection. Trixie doesn't like this and wonders where her daughter got such bold ideas. At a small grocery store, a wealthy man grows annoyed when cashier Carmen Schlant scolds him for buying non-vegan items. She even refuses to sell him shampoo, saying it harms the planet. Frustrated, he asks for the manager. But before things escalate, Carmen's daughter Aura quietly takes over the register. She politely apologizes to smooth things over. The man, Ingo, is taken by surprise not just by her manners, but by her kind face. His anger fades. He cancels the complaint and introduces himself. Aura notices his fancy car key and shyly says she's never been in a Porsche, since she's just a store worker. Ingo smiles, realizing she might be flirting. Elsewhere, at the von Schlocht mansion, the wealthy family meets with a public relations advisor, Olivier. They need to pick a charity to support for their summer event. Trixie wants something stylish and trendy, but Annabelle suggests they do something real like visiting poor neighborhoods and helping people directly. This idea makes Trixie uncomfortable. Suddenly, Trixie gets a phone call. Her face turns pale as she hears something unexpected. At the same time, Carmen receives a strange call too. At first, she laughs it off as a joke until the caller asks how old her daughter is. Later that day, Aura steps out of Ingo's Porsche, smiling quietly to herself. From a distance, her sister Rosa watches and wonders if Aura has finally ended things with the police officer she was dating. It's the third time she's seen her sister with someone new. Rosa begs her not to tell her current boyfriend Jan about any of it. Just then, Jan arrives and kisses Rosa, unaware of the tension. Their brother, Siddhartha, walks over and tells Rosa to come home, something's wrong, and their mom is upset. Meanwhile, Annabelle sits in shock. She has just learned she might not be the real daughter of her parents. At the same time, Carmen remembers raising her child with love and care, but now questions everything. Could she have raised someone else's daughter? Aura and Annabelle take a DNA test. The results confirm it. They were switched at birth. Aura moves in with the von Schlachts. Trixie is thrilled. Aura reminds her of an old family portrait. Aura meets her biological brother Albrecht, and then turns to Annabelle, hinting that she's now the true daughter of the house. Trixie agrees too easily, and forgets to include Annabelle in the moment. Annabelle feels invisible. Upset, Annabelle goes to her father Bolko's room. He has been in a coma for years. She sits beside him, holding the test results, and drinks quietly. Needing comfort, she calls Carmen but says nothing. Carmen recognizes the silence. Gently, she tells her it's okay. She doesn't need to speak or return yet. She just wants her to know she's loved. But Annabelle, overwhelmed, hangs up. Later that day, Annabelle walks into the living room and finds her family gathered around old photo albums, showing Aura pictures from the past. They stop on a slide of Bolko holding a little girl. Annabelle smiles, remembering the moment until she realizes her mother doesn't. That evening, she shares her feelings with her best friend, Moisey. She tells him it feels like her family is actually glad she doesn't belong to them. They always saw me as a mistake, she says quietly. Just then, a well-dressed man pulls into the driveway. Curious, Annabelle and Moisey call out to him. The man walks over and introduces himself as Benjamin, a famous business figure. He warmly greets Annabelle but barely notices Moisey. Before leaving, he smiles at Annabelle and says he hopes to see her again. Inside, the family prepares for their charity event. Guests arrive, and Trixie takes the stage to announce the cause they're supporting this year. But she accidentally starts reading last year's speech. Olivier, the family's PR expert, quietly panics and tries to correct her. Before she can, Annabelle quickly grabs the right script to help, but Aura steps in, pulls it from her hands, and shoves her aside. Annabelle stumbles and falls. Ignoring the commotion, Aura steps up to the microphone and reads the updated speech with style and confidence. The crowd is impressed. Even Trixie claps proudly and calls Aura her amazing, long-lost daughter and says she couldn't imagine life without her. Annabelle is crushed when she hears her mother introduce Aura as the real Annabelle von Schlacht. Without saying a word, she packs her things, gets in her car, and drives toward one of the roughest parts of the city. After parking, a police officer named Jan notices her and walks over. He asks if she's okay. She tells him she's not lost. She's there to see her birth mother, Carmen. She explains she was switched at birth. Jan is surprised and finds it hard to believe. He decides to go with her to make sure she's safe. At the Schlan home, Carmen opens the door and gives Annabelle a warm hug. She asks for her name and welcomes her inside. Annabelle meets her siblings, Rosa and Siddhartha, and a quiet lodger named Gurmit. The house is small but full of warmth. Jan realizes that Aura is already living with the von Schlachts. Seeing everything is fine, he says goodbye and leaves. Soon after, Trixie calls. She tells Annabelle to come back immediately, but Annabelle refuses. She says she's already home with her real mother, who loves her without needing money or fame. Trixie mocks her, saying she won't last a day without their wealth. In response, Annabelle calmly cuts up her credit cards and says she'll get a job and make her own way. Then she tells Trixie to stop calling. She wants to enjoy life with her kind, funny family, and ends the call. That night, while the others are asleep, Annabelle sits quietly in the dark. She asks Carmen about her father, but Carmen says she doesn't know who he is. Alone with her thoughts, Annabelle stares out the window, amazed at how quickly her world has changed. While Aura bounces happily on her new expensive bed, excited to live in luxury, Annabelle wakes up to something unexpected. Carmen enters her room dressed in a full animal costume. Surprised and confused, Annabelle asks what's going on. Carmen explains they're joining a protest against a fur store one that Annabelle and her old friends used to shop at. At first, Annabelle refuses to go. But when she sees Gurmit wearing a tight costume printed with muscles, she laughs and agrees to drive them. At the protest site, Annabelle parks her car and joins the group. But when they return, her car is gone. It was her father's last gift to her. Distraught, she reports the stolen car and her missing designer bags to Officer Jan. He asks for the license plate number, but all Annabelle can remember is that she called the car Mr. Norris. Annabelle says she's going to big job interviews, but Jan gently suggests a small agency nearby. Annabelle applies for many simple jobs but gets mostly rejections or unpaid offers. She finally has an interview at a job agency, drinks a small schnapps to calm nerves, and talks about her fancy education and being expelled. She admits she has no real work experience but is eager to learn. The recruiter politely rejects her. At the von Schlacht estate, Aura ignores her boyfriend's calls and texts that she lost her voice. Trixie excitedly shows her a magazine calling them Germany's donation angels and invites her shopping. Later, Jan contacts Annabelle to find Carmen. They visit the fur store, where some security is present. Carmen is surprised to see Aura wearing a fur coat as it doesn't align with her values. Annabelle, hidden behind a fox mask, watches quietly and hears a shop assistant ask why she hasn't visited lately. Trixie tells someone Annabelle isn't really her daughter and is glad she left. Annabelle hears this at a protest, feels hurt, throws paint at Aura's fur coat, and runs away. Jan finds out and scolds Annabelle for causing trouble. At the police station, Annabelle learns she's being sued for €20. If she can't pay, Carmen's things could be taken. This scares her. That night, Annabelle asks old friends for help, but they ignore or mock her. Ben quietly offers her a job. She agrees but feels uneasy after his strange behavior. Later, she sneaks into Bolko's room, remembers his faith in her, but doubts herself and is glad he can't see her struggles. Downstairs, Trixie quietly admits she misses Annabelle and feels empty. Yan surprises Aura and quickly sees she wasn't really sick. She tries to explain, but he steps back and tells her to call when she's herself again. They hear a noise upstairs. Yan checks and finds Annabelle hiding. He promises not to tell and later sits with her by the gate. Yan flirts and kisses Annabelle, who suspects he's trying to make Aura jealous. She slaps him but agrees to his ride home if he helps her. The next morning, Annabelle worries about her job interview. Rosa warns her not to drink schnapps, and Carmen encourages her. Confident, Annabelle meets Schwartz Enterprise, introduces herself, accepts a low salary, and gets hired. Annabelle starts cleaning Ben's loft and finds some private things. She feels awkward but says nothing. Tired, she falls asleep on the bed. Benjamin wakes her and asks about a locked cupboard. He wonders if his private items bother her. Annabelle says she's fine and thinks it's normal. Impressed, Benjamin gives her another chance and asks her to return the next day. Later, Annabelle walks home and notices Yan is gone from the parking lot. Then she sees him shirtless and feels drawn to him. They spend the day together, driving, eating fast food, and taking pictures like a couple. About to kiss, Yan gets a message from his girlfriend showing her location. They decide to visit to make her jealous. At the restaurant, Aura mocks Annabelle's job hunt and her closeness to Yan but leaves frustrated when they stay calm. At the von Schlocht house, Trixie tries to play Twister with her kids but gets angry when Albrecht takes a business call. She tells them family time is more important than wasting money. Aura disagrees, saying she deserves to enjoy life after growing up poor. Her brother supports her. That night, Trixie offers money to Carmen for Annabelle, but Carmen refuses, saying Annabelle can support herself. The next day, Annabelle is upset to learn Yan and Aura are back together, though she hides it. Yan notices. Later, at Benjamin's house, Annabelle finds rose petals leading to a dress and gifts. She smiles, putting on a Tiffany ring. In the evening, a driver brings Annabelle to Benjamin's mansion. She finds out his kind acts are an offer to be his paid girlfriend. When she jokes about it, Ben asks if her wild ways have made her happy. She doesn't answer. He says everything will be with her permission and promises her an apartment, 20 euros a month, and any car she wants. Though tempted, Annabelle refuses. Ben hopes she'll reconsider and calls it a business deal. Meanwhile, Jan worries about Aura's changed behavior since getting rich. Moise wonders if she'll become a rebel like Annabelle. Jan defends Annabelle as the only one with a strong personality. When Ingo invites Aura for a drink, Jan leaves his seat and walks away, despite her threats to break up. At Ben's apartment, he's upset to see Annabelle handcuffed to the bed. He likes being teased because he acts tough. Annabelle plays along, but then Ben gets a call and leaves forgetting to unlock her. Annabelle calls Jan for help. They argue about her job and his relationship with Aura until they hear Bolko is very sick. At the von Schlocht house, Annabelle remembers her father. When he dies, Aura apologizes and the family forgives each other. Feeling lost, Annabelle agrees to go to Los Angeles with Ben. She says goodbye, gives Carmen a check, and leaves. Jermit learns Ben paid for her company. Meanwhile, Jan realizes he loves Annabelle. He runs to catch her plane but misses it. Seeing Jan chase the plane, Annabelle decides to cancel her deal with Ben. The plane turns back, she takes a police car, and drives into the woods. Jan finds her, happy she's staying. They share a laugh and a kiss, starting their new relationship.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and stay connected with us.